is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Weapon Collective. My name's Jeff, and welcome to the Gat Cave. I know it has been a little while since I've had any new content up, and for that, I do apologize. It's been an absolutely crazy couple of weeks. So, last 2 weekends, I've been doing training, I've been traveling. 2 weekends ago, I did the Tactical Retreat with Tactical Cowboy. That was amazing. If you guys aren't familiar with Tactical Cowboy, go check out their site. It is amazing, their channel. Go and check them out on all their social media. They are awesome. I love training with those guys. And then I just got back from Arizona where I took the Modern Samurai Red Dot course with Scott Jedlinski. That was fantastic as well. But now I'm back and anxious to get some content up. So today's video, I have a couple new things I'm going to share with you, and it's going to kind of be a channel status check-in update, whatever you want to call it. But it's just kind of a what's going on right now and what I'm going to be doing in the immediate future. So on another note, for those that have been requesting merchandise in the comments, I did get some stuff in. I made some hoodies, some t-shirts, little knickknacks, and unfortunately the website is not quite finished, so I'm just trying to get that buttoned up and then it will go live. So I will keep you posted, but I got hoodies, t-shirts. They're very cool. I like them. They turned out great. I used 9-line. I like those guys. This hoodie is absolutely super comfortable. I wear an Atlas hoodie in the videos all the time, and that is a 9-line hoodie, and I loved it. So when I was making these, I was trying to find a company that I wanted to make the stuff, and I loved that hoodie so much that I said, that's who I need to use to make this stuff. So it took a little longer just because I'm picky, but it will be up very soon, and I will keep you posted. Other than that, I did want to go over a couple new guns, and starting with one that is definitely out of character for the channel. As you know, I'm very 2011 centric on this channel, and other than that, everything is pretty much tactical. But I had a birthday, and my dad gave me an awesome birthday present. So it is this over and under shotgun, double barrel Beretta Silver Pigeon. And this is just gorgeous. Like, you can see all this engraving in here. It is just fantastic with this beautiful wood. And I'm not even gonna pretend I know that much about these kind of shotguns, because I don't. All of my shotguns are Beretta 1301, Benelli M4, tactical oriented type stuff. And this, I don't know much about it, but I sure do appreciate the beauty and craftsmanship of something like this. And whew, I love it. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous shotgun, but definitely out of character for the channel. But I thought I'd share it with you guys and give my dad some props for such a cool gift. So this, as I said, this is the Beretta Silver Pigeon over and under, and absolutely love it. We'll have to get this out and shoot some trap and some skeet with this thing. So anyhow, this is number one. And then more in line with what I'm normally doing on this channel, which is 2011s. And, you know, Staccato XC, love those, love my Atlas guns, but they are very expensive. So I'm really trying to find a good alternative for those that are trying to get into the 2011 space, because it is a high barrier to entry with the cost of a lot of these guns. So came across this guy, which is basically the Turkish Staccato XC, and this is the Military Arms Corp double stack duty comp. So it is a 5-inch pistol with the compensated barrel, and basically a Staccato XC ripoff. And the beauty of this thing, haven't shot it yet, but I'm going to test it on the channel. Just wanted to show it to you guys first. But the beauty of this thing is it's $1,000. And if you can get something not quite comparable, but close to a Staccato XC for $1,000, where you're paying 4 times less, almost 5, I mean, then this is a sweet alternative. I don't know that yet. I'm going to test it, but I wanted to just let you guys know that that's going to be happening. So I did, of course, put a Holosun 508T and a Surefire X300 on this thing. And first impressions handling this thing, I mean, it is nowhere near as buttery soft and smooth as the Staccato XC, but I really don't expect it to be. But once again, polymer grip, Staccato has a polymer grip, and it's just not, you can tell it's not as finely crafted as the Staccato. Slide to frame fitment, there's a little wiggle there, but it's got a decent trigger in it. Not great, but it's decent. Very little take up, and then, it's a good brake, but much heavier than a Staccato. Strong reset, and that got me interested in what's the trigger weight. So we're gonna go through some trigger weights, but before we do, I wanted to go through this next one, and this is one that I ordered 11 months ago, 11 and some change, and while I was waiting for that, I came across one at a gun shop that I picked up, and that is this. You've seen it on the channel before. This is the Atlas Apollo. So I picked this one up, and this has the black with silver accents, black trigger, and I was like, okay, when my Apollo shows up, maybe I'll just sell it. But showed up yesterday, picked it up, and this is the Atlas Apollo that I ordered from Atlas 11 months ago. And when I got it, I realized, oh my gosh, I ordered it with the red trigger. Why did I do that? So the first thing I did when I got it home is take the entire gun apart, and I had a gold trigger laying around, so I put a gold trigger in it. And the trigger weight on these things is crazy. So now I have the two of them that are set up identically, except they just have different color scheme. And this one has their competition magwell, and this has their tactical magwell with the grip inserts. Large one on the right and the half step on the left. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do with one of these Apollos. So I have some ideas, but I'm not quite there yet. As I said, I want to go through these trigger weights because it will be interesting to see the difference in trigger weights in all these Atlas guns and in that duty comp. But first, we're going to start with the Glock just to get a baseline. I have this Triarch Zev OZ9 Glock 17-ish thing here, and this has kind of your average Glock trigger pull. So we'll take up, and I mean, it's not light by any means, but it's not the heaviest. Like, I have some Glocks that are heavier, and most of my Glocks I've swapped out triggers and stuff. So this is probably the most average feeling Glock trigger that I had immediately available. So you're just gonna have to trust me on this. I don't know how accurate this thing is. This is a Lyman trigger weight, so we'll see. We're gonna get an approximation. So if this thing's breaking at like 5 pounds, then we probably know we're on track. But let's see. So that's breaking at like 4.5, almost 5. Almost dead, 4.5. So I would say that's kind of a stock Glock trigger. Do it one more time here. Same thing, right about 4.5 to 5. So I'm going to say this is fairly accurate, but because once you get up into these 2011s, it starts getting so low that I don't even know if I trust this thing, but we'll see. Let's start with the Mac 9 DS Duty Comp. So this thing, it is clear, and we're going to reset this. So that's breaking at about same as the Glock. 4.5 to 5 pounds. Same. So once again, right about 4.5, 5 pounds. So that is a heavy 2011 trigger. I will say that. But it feels that way. I mean, it feels a lot better than the Glock trigger still, but it's a heavy trigger for a 2011. Let's try just a Staccato XC with a red dirt trigger. This one from Vulcan Machine Works. Let's see what that breaks at. And clear and safe. Ooh. So that's breaking at a pound. 1 pound. Right at 1 pound again. And I would say that's what it feels like. I mean, that thing is light. But compared to some of these Atlases, this isn't that light. So we went from 5 in the DS9 Comp to 1 in the Staccato XC from Vulcan Machine Works. So let's just go through these Atlases, starting with this Atlas EOS. Safe and clear. And this is their carry gun, so it should break a little heavier than a pound. And that is right about 2 pounds. Right about 2. It's a nice feeling trigger. Once you get used to it, you wouldn't want to go from a Glock straight to this for a carry gun. I don't think you'd want spend a lot of time on this trigger before you did that. But it feels really nice once you get used to it. But when you first shoot these guns after moving from a polymer striker fired gun, it is crazy how light these triggers are. So that's the EOS. Okay, next we're going to the 4 1/4 Aries. So this is also more of a carry gun. 2 pounds. 2 pounds. Right at 2 pounds again. So carry guns are breaking at 2. Then we get to the 4 1/4 Atlas Nix. This is not a carry gun. But breaking right at 2 pounds. Right at 2. So all 3 of these are at 2 pounds so far. Then let's go to, this is the Atlas Aries 4.6. So this is not a carry gun either. £2 pounds. I'll just trust that it's 2 pounds. Move on. Then we get into the Atlas Athena. This thing's gorgeous. Love this silver PVD. And let's test that baby. Definitely not designed as a carry gun. And that one's breaking at 1 pound. I mean, it's less than a pound on that. So, very light trigger in the Athena. And then we're getting into, this is that first Apollo that's been on the channel before. Ooh, less than a pound. It's like point. I mean, it is light. I mean, that's so light, less than a pound, which feels phenomenal once you're used to it. So the new Apollo, this is the one that just came in that I swapped that red trigger out, brought this thing home, and immediately tore the whole thing apart and put that gold trigger in. I don't know why I ordered the red trigger, but when I got it, I realized that I had done that and was very bummed out. I don't like the red trigger. I don't like red, I don't like blue, gold, black, silver. That's it. That's what I like. So, not saying that if you have a red trigger or a blue trigger that it's bad. This is not my flavor. So, like the silver trigger in this, I think looks good, but in a black gun, I wouldn't want that. So, just personal taste. Don't mean to offend anybody with the red trigger, but I think the gold is much more up my alley. So this is the new Apollo. Let's test that. And that is maybe even slightly less than the other Apollo, but just under a pound. One more. Yeah, just bare. I mean, it's just so light. And this is what I mean. Like, little take up, and then just the small amount of pressure, and that trigger breaks. The reset. I mean, it is such a fantastic trigger, but you got to get used to it. And these things are even heavier than this gun, the Atlas Erebus. This one is the only, these all have short triggers and medium triggers. This is the only Atlas I have that has a long trigger in it. And I don't mind it, but if definitely a little further up with the trigger finger, which may be good when it breaks this light. So this one breaks at breathing on it. So, I mean, that's 8 ounces. You can see that. And it is a very light trigger. So, I mean, it's right there at 8 ounces. Which I think a lot of people will go, that's too light of a trigger. And when I first got this gun, before I even talk about that, I will say all of these guns I picked up in gun shops or went to Gunbroker, with the exception of this new Apollo. This is the only gun, the only Atlas gun that I've ordered directly from Atlas and specified the trigger weight. And all these other ones just came how they came. And I like them. I mean, every gun is a little unique. You can adjust these trigger weights at home, but I haven't fiddled with them. And except for this one, when I put it in, I just matched the trigger weight that it was set at. But it is the Erebus. When you get into this, I mean, this trigger is so light that there's that. And then just the smallest amount of pressure and this thing breaks. But that reset is phenomenal, and it's really, you can shoot so fast with this. This trigger, you just got to get used to it. Because when I got this gun, take it out of the holster, get on target, be prepping the trigger, break. And it would break before I wanted it to. And it just took some getting used to of how you can prep this trigger, which is very little. You can apply that much, right? But any more and it's gonna break. So you have to get used to it, and it just takes a little training. But I love this trigger, I love this gun, I love all these Atlas guns. But really, I was just interested in showing you these new guns, going through those trigger weights and showing you how ridiculously light some of these are. And it's not a good thing, not a bad thing. It's, do you like it personally? Which I really do. So I love these triggers. And once you get spoiled by 2011 trigger, 1911 triggers, it is hard to go back to a polymer striker fired pistol. It just kind of ruins you. There's a little bit of a learning curve. You want to make sure that you're doing it safely. But I am excited to go out and test this double stack duty comp. Hopefully, I really want this thing to be a decent gun, and we'll see. But I am filming tomorrow. Once again, I apologize for the lapse in content. I'm going to get working extra hard now that I don't have any courses or anything coming up. I'm going to be focusing on content creation. Get this stuff up, so please comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I'm Jeff for the Weapon Collective, reminding you, keep your weapons collected and keep collecting your weapons. I'll catch you next time.